Round 17, Draftstars review here. We've got 4 games to go through, starting off with the Sharks v the Storm on that Thursday night game. And a great win from the Sharks. So I obviously didn't expect that with my picks. And as you can tell here, didn't perform particularly well myself. Obviously picking up Pap and going with that extra cash, using that there rather than spending it elsewhere. I thought there was a little bit of value in those forwards. And you can tell there, with Wade Graham, for example, not performing his best in the time on the park compared to last week in terms of just his fantasy scoring there. Really happy with how Chris Lewis played, the 46 that he got. Jerome Hughes there with 54, and obviously went with Brandon Smith at 9 was a clear pickup there. But just the three others, Kamika was fine, Seve was fine also, but Pap obviously spending all that money on him, especially when Ramian picked up a triple there. It obviously didn't work out too well, and Trindle was the other one that I was looking to pick up, but I thought that this team would work out better. And obviously, again, Sharks not going as well was my theory, and that didn't obviously pan out in this one. So we take an L there, but that is okay. I hope you guys, for those of you that went with the Sharks winning that one, that you've done pretty well. The Knights v Rabbitohs was the second one there, and again, not too great for me personally. I did mention, though, that Isaiah Tass would be a solid guy to pick up. He ended up with a 44 at that cheap price, so that was a good one. The big question mark was really around Latrell Mitchell and if he was going to play great. He obviously had a nice game as well, but the guy that won this didn't actually have Latrell in there. I said Havili was a must-have. He didn't go as well as we would have thought. Did get the minutes that I thought, or even probably more than I actually generally thought he was going to get, but the run meters were completely down compared to obviously what he's been doing through the forwards and through the middle there. And tackling wasn't as high as we would have generally hoped for. But when there's 68 points in this game, that wasn't going to happen. Clem was obviously a great selection. He ended up picking up a try as well. Frizzell, again, not as great as we would have thought. Clooney having a tough one. He was a last-minute sort of bring in there. I had Cartwright in for a long time and decided to go away from that. And that didn't help us out. But I did tell you guys to pick up Cartwright, given he was going to get some big minutes on an edge. But yeah, generally not the best game going around. I had Johnson in my squad, and when he ended up becoming a late out, I changed my team dramatically with Nicarima going to 13. He did a good job, but I definitely didn't have Clune in my side. I don't believe I had Frizzell in either. So anyway, is what it is on that one. I decided just to play the free one on the Tigers v Eels. Just wasn't super confident, especially in how the Eels have been playing, to be honest. And I ended up going pretty well in this one, 41st out of the 301. So definitely in the top, close to the top 10% there, which would have got me paid. Definitely in the 10K one. Mike Acevo, obviously a great selection. I had him as a pretty cheap guy that you could slot in. Talked about Penasini as being a decent one. He didn't perform, but I ended up not picking him up. Talk about Moses being that, pretty much the best selection, even at that highest price. Offengawe did really well. The only one that really cooked me a little bit was Shawnee Lane, who's been scoring over 50 on a regular basis, and Junior Tapoa selected him at that cheap price, just so I could fit all the other guys in. Pole was solid with the 36.7. As I said, Offer was pretty good as well, and spoke about Papali'i being a guy back on the edge that should be scoring a lot better than he had through the middle. And that late mail, that last hour before the match started, confirmed that Makatoa was going to play 13, and that was obviously very, very helpful. So we moved to the last game of the round. I played this one, and pretty much went how I thought it would. Only issue I had here, and really what cooked me from doing really, really well in this, was that Adam Reynolds only had a pretty poor game, to be honest with you. A 34 in a game where they scored 32 points. I would have expected him to at least be involved in some try assists, obviously dominating the kick meters and stuff like that as well, and kicking goals. So that didn't happen tonight. Cody Ramsey, obviously a pretty solid selection there. Tessie New had a great game at fullback, and he's actually, at that really expensive price, I said to steer clear of him, but he obviously had a great game there. Herder there as well with 56.7 on the wing. He was great at that cheap price. Blake Laurie, I mentioned as a great selection, along with Hosking and also Jack Bird, who's been playing super at the moment. McCulloch pretty close to a must-have, had him in there as well. So it's really only Pereira and Reynolds that slowed me down in this one from doing really well. So well done to Dab City lads who picked up the win in that one, and 40 points more than I did there. But obviously had Reynolds as well, so I can't complain too much. It was just those the sneaky other picks. I definitely would have thought Pereira would have done better than Herder there. But yeah, didn't eventuate that way. And Hetherington I spoke about as being a solid option as well, and he did great as well with the 61.2. So that's the review for round 17, guys. I hope you all did really well over the weekend, and look forward to next week's round 18 when we have plenty of games, back to that 8-game slate there, and plenty more opportunities to make lots of money. Jump in, hit that sign up link in the description, and we'll catch you in the next video, guys.